I just defended my prospectus for my PhD, and I realized that I often find myself beginning my sentences with perhaps or maybe, or by asking a question actually, making my claim or my ideas a suggestion. It saves me from the pressure of belonging to a side, but then I think if ambivalence isn't a side itself, like Cyril Connelly said, there are no pure opposites, but there is always something more ethical than the other, isn't it? And I'm not merely talking about the left and the right divide. And then I worry if ambivalence is a political cop out. In fact, my PhD is about the pitfalls of ambivalent political discourse. Now, the person who came up with the term, Eugene Bleuler, categorized ambivalence into three kinds. One is the love hate relationship, one is the inability to choose, and one is a simultaneous attachment to incompatible beliefs and ideas. You know, the part of you that isn't religious but still likes to celebrate a festival because it has a beautiful memory associated with it? That's what I'm talking about. Now, my academic mind definitely seeks clarity, wants to make claims. But I also realize that the more I read, the more I become aware of my smallness, of never knowing. I'm limited by context and resources. But when theory gets too much, I turn to poetry. And I found some answers for the right kind of ambivalence from Nazim Hikmet. Nazim Hikmet was a Turkish poet who lived most of his life, adult life, either in prison or in exile for speaking against the regime. So I think he knows what he's talking about when he's talking about being political. But he's the one who said that in his politics, he could never separate mind and heart. In a letter to Walt Whitman, he said, and I quote, "I want to write poems that both talk about me and address just one other person and call out to millions. I want to write poems that talk of a single apple of the plowed earth, of getting out of prison, struggles of masses, or one man's heartbreaks." End quote. He went on to call the 20th century my miserable, shameful century, my darling, great, heroic century. Now that's an ambivalence where the head meets the heart, and that seems like an aspirational way to live. To that idea, here's Nora Jones with To Live.